Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are watching 13 Reasons Why. This is episode 13 of season 1. Hopefully, guys have been enjoying the series so far. And honestly, the last few episodes have been the best of the season, but they've also been absolute crazy episodes. You know, we've had a rape of Jessica, a death of Jeff. You know, we've had Clay's tape. We had a rape of Hannah in the last episode, and Bryce committed the rapes both times. It's absolute madness, mate. It was so unexpected. I couldn't believe it when we seen it. And that was obviously the main focal point of the last episode. Now, Clay, obviously listening to the tapes, he was trying to get a confession out of Bryce. You know, he's gone to his house, he's asked, can he buy some weed? And obviously, while he was there, he's got his tape recorder, which he swapped with Tony, you know, the one that he had before, just listened. I kind of picked up on it, what he was trying to do. Well, it's not confirmed, actually, but what I think he was trying to do was get him to obviously confess to attacking Hannah, raping her on obviously this new recorder that he picked up from Tony that was inside of his bag. And obviously he instigated a fight. You know, he called him a rapist. He swung the first punch. Bryce hit him back. Bryce knocked him out pretty much. He left him bloodied and bruised on the floor. Then obviously he sat him up on a chair, gave him some ice, and they had like a little bit of conversation. Obviously Clay's not like laughing or anything. He's still serious. He was saying, why'd you do it? Did she consent to it? You know, he's asking all these questions. And Bryce said, if you want to call it rape, whatever. And Clay then left, and he was absolutely buzzing. He's probably thinking this is all the evidence that he needs to obviously take Bryce down. Now, the other kids, you know, that are part of these tapes, you know, they're all meeting up, having discussions. You're trying to figure out what to do. They've been subpoenaed by the Bakers. They have to go to court. They have to testify, obviously, in the case between the Bakers and the school. And, you know, it's really interesting. They're all panicking. They're looking for fingers to point everywhere. They were saying that maybe we should throw Bryce under the bus. You know, he's potentially committed this crazy crime. None of them know exactly that it did happen, but they all pretty much know, if that makes sense. And they say, wait, if you throw him under the bus, then it would deflect all the attention away from us and maybe we'll be okay. But no, I think they all decided that, you know, the best play is to just tell the truth and just accept whatever comes to them. We had Sherry, she called the police. She said that she wanted to, you know, report like a crime, or report like, I took it that she was reporting that she hit the lamppost, you know, and knocked down the stop sign, which obviously led as a possibility to the crash that obviously Jeff and that old man was obviously in when Jeff died. So very interesting. Obviously, we've got the Bakers as well. I'm excited for today's episode because they're coming in. Well, I'm expecting that everything's going to be concluded today. We can't be going into season 2 with this Hannah storyline, like, so I'm expecting big stuff today. I'm expecting the trial going on, and hopefully somebody stands up and tells the truth. Justin's really interesting as well. He's not really getting on with, obviously, Jessica. He's had kind of a fight with his mum's boyfriend who's kicked him out of the house. He's took a gun with him. We've seen Tyler earlier on in the episode acquire a gun as well. We've seen the very end of the episode a male being transferred in an ambulance with gunshot wounds to the head. We didn't know who that was. I was calling it was Bryce. You know, it's crazy, mate. All this stuff is going on. And I'm interested, obviously, to see what this finale has to offer us. So thanks for listening to today's episode. Hopefully, guys, enjoy it. If you do, please smash the like. Really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you do. And as always, let's jump in to the finale of season 1 of 30 Reasons Why.
My name is Dennis Vasquez, representing Andrew and Olivia Baker, and this is a deposition. For the record, please state your full name, your age, where you go to school, and what year you're in.
My name is Zachary Shanyong Dempsey, 17, and I'm a junior at Liberty High.
And how well did you know Hannah?
I didn't know her that well. I mean, I knew her from around school, I guess.
Did you ever hear anyone say unkind things to Hannah?
Yeah, I heard, and I said some things myself.
He said something. I mean, that wasn't the first time he saw Hannah, was it? Because her hair was way longer than that when she first went to the school. Unless he was just talking about, I don't know, that passing moment the day after what happened to Bryce. But it's interesting that we started with Zach. I thought it was going to say, hi, what's your name? And then it's going to go, like, Jessica, Bryce, Justin. Do you know what I mean? And it was just going to show them all sat there, just, like, flick through them all. And, like, as he asks the questions, he all flick through the answers. But we'll see how it goes.
May I ask what the project is?
This stupid thing.
Good
Do you
answer.
mind if I keep it for a few days?
Yeah, keep it as long as you like.
Alex, Tyler, Courtney, Marcus, who each helped to destroy my reputation. On through Zach and Ryan, who broke my spirit. Through tape number 12, Bryce Walker, who broke my soul.
Good morning, sunshine. You look radiant.
I need one more cassette for my project. Is it okay if I just grab it?
Yeah, go ahead, sweetie.
She noticed something else.
Lorene will be here any minute. Are you sure you want to sit through these? Dennis says they're just mostly procedural.
Those kids hurt our daughter. I want to find out what they know.
And I mean, we'd have a conversation now and then.
Did you ever date Hannah?
No, I mean, we had a milkshake once. It was just a $1 Valentine's thing.
You know what's actually interesting, right? It's like when they say, can you get around it with wording? Did you know Hannah was being bullied? No, they didn't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, they do now, but they didn't know at the time. And I think that they can get away. I don't know, man. It's not lying. It's not lying. It's the way the words are questioned. You know, like, it is interesting. You could definitely tell a lot. You could tell the truth by also telling a lie. Like he just said then. I can't remember if you just asked then if you know, if he knew Hannah was being bullied. Like, but he could easily say no. Like, did you and Hannah date? No. Yeah. Did it hurt her feelings? I don't know. Do you know what I mean? But then now he knows. But like he might not, he didn't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's going to be interesting to listen to the wording of the questions, because you can answer it as two different people. You can answer it as the person when she was alive, and if they don't word it, if they didn't word it well enough, and then obviously if they do word it well enough, you have to tell them the answer that you actually know now in the present.
Are you giving me the silent treatment? Or is it the other way around?
I'm just eating breakfast.
You disappeared again.
Thought Tony might like to join us for breakfast.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Tony doesn't have time.
Clay.
Mom, so remember how side B was blank? It's not blank anymore.
Oh, that's what he bought a nail for, the same one.
She wanted me, practically begging me to fuck her. If that's rape, then every girl at this school wants to be raped.
I'm assuming you want to make a copy of that to keep your set complete. I think it's time that we stop thinking about what Hannah wanted and start thinking about what she needs. And Jessica, and every other girl who practically begged Bryce to fuck her.
That's fucking good. No, I like that, Clay, man. You got to protect all the future women. You can't be getting away with it, man. I've done it twice, mate. Not once, twice.
This tape blows up the world.
It's hard to tell.
So that's not you in this photo?
Sure what you're trying to pin on my daughter, but I promise you she had nothing to
Mr.
do.
Crimson, you're here as a courtesy. She can either talk about this photo now or she can do it in court.
Yes, mate. That's just been dominated.
Dude, I promised myself that I wasn't going to say, how are you?
How the fuck do you think?
I'll light them on fire and let them burn until they're, I don't know, melted plastic and ash. It's your call.
Have you listened to the last tape? You know what happens when girls try to get help? I'd have to tell the police. I'd have to tell my dad. I don't think I can do that. You think I'm letting Hannah down?
You let yourself down in a way, but...
I think we all let Hannah down. And I think she let you down.
Don't burn the tapes.
The jocks, they walk the halls like they own the place. You try going to school with a bunch of Neanderthals who are told that they are the only thing of value at school. If I hadn't moved away, if I hadn't let her start dating Justin, if I'd been around to help her through it, she'd still be alive today.
I walked every street in this shitty-ass town. Tell me what you want me to do and I'll do it. I'll fucking go to the school. I'll talk to the cops you want. I'll kill him with my bare hands. And I'll pay the price for it. Just please tell me what you want.
Is never to see you again.
She probably wants to eradicate every single person that has some sort of knowledge of that situation and never spoke up and never protected her. Do you know what I mean? At the time of that attack, I did say that I was trying to think of like the words and how to say it. Like, him and Hannah wasn't as bad as Bryce, but the perfect thing was what Clay said a second ago, which I didn't actually say properly, was they let her down. Bryce was obviously the worst one, but they was involved as well. Not as much as him, but they let her down. And that was a good thing that Clay just said, because it summed it up right. They knew something was happening and they didn't stop it. Whether he was obviously like, you know, appreciative, say, of Bryce handing him all this stuff for all his life because he's had such a crap life that somebody's given him all these things and made him feel so good that he didn't want to kind of like ruin it and feel like, I don't know, that he's ruining himself, so to speak. Or Hannah, the way like she's frozen on the spot, petrified for her life. Do you know what I mean? They both could have prevented what was happening regardless of their own situations, and he let her down. And it was good what Clay said. And now obviously when you flick over to obviously Jessica, you could totally get where she's coming from, that she don't want to see him. But I have to be honest, yeah, I'm not going to lie, I actually don't think Justin's that bad. Do you know what? I actually like his character. Doesn't mean I like Justin, but like his character so far, to me, been very interesting. He's actually had a good story running alongside this Hannah one, where everybody else has had little bits dropping in here and there. He's got like a full-on story growing.
Ah, fuck. Oh, shake it off, man. It's just rust.
Nah, I fucked up my hand last night.
You figure your shit out?
from the other night?
Yeah, we're good.
I feel like, as a society, our priorities are all out of whack.
Clay,
What?
never mind. I'll see him badly.
Oh, God. He's never been able to open up to him.
What happened? Are you alright?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I know I'm still on suspension, but I needed to talk.
What's on your heart?
Just everything, I guess.
Okay, everything, huh?
I don't care anymore
You don't care about what?
about anything.
Well, how are you a problem?
I don't know. You can get that if you want.
No. I've seen you around with Courtney Crimson.
Yeah, they're not my friends.
What about Clay Jensen?
Clay Jensen hates me.
Look how more doom and gloom it is. Like, the paint on the wall don't even look as bright.
Whatever happened to Hannah, between you and her, with other kids, she made that choice. I don't know him all that well, but he doesn't seem like the type to hate anyone. Hey, hang on, don't go, just help me out here. How would you like things to be different for Hannah? It sounds like there's something that you need that you're not getting.
I need everything to stop. People, life.
We're imperfect people. You know, we love imperfectly. We don't always get it right.
You're a counselor.
I have to live with it.
Isn't it? He speaks to
You
too
can
many
know
people.
all the signs and understand the issues and still come up missing something.
You may not feel that way in a minute.
Seems like a very serious thing to say. If I'm gonna help you, I'm gonna need you to be a little more specific.
Last year, I was voted. Someone made this stupid list, and people have been reacting to it ever since.
She told you what happened to her. So if I tell you that I'm going to kill myself, you can't tell anyone that she didn't care about anything anymore, that she wanted everything to stop.
When did you talk to her last?
She told you how she got to that point.
You don't want to talk about this, do you?
No, I do. But did anything happen that night that you regret?
Look, I didn't make a decision.
Did anything happen at the party that may be considered illegal? Did he force himself on you?
This is big one now.
I think so.
You think
Okay.
so? But you're not sure. Did you tell him no?
No.
Should we involve your parents or the police?
No!
Talk about a hypothetical student who comes in here and says that she was raped.
I'm required to go to the police, but I need to know exactly what happened.
No, I don't know about that one. Just, I don't know. Before we start getting into it, I actually don't know about that one, right? If somebody come to me, yeah, if I was a school counsellor and somebody came to me and said that she basically said that she thinks that she was raped, like, I know, like, it's the word thing, but, like, he tried to counter it by saying, did you say no? And she said no. This is what I was trying to say earlier on in one of the things, like, when, yeah, it might have been last episode when Clay said to Bryce, you know, did you ask for a consent? Well, if she didn't say no as well, you know what I mean? It's like, it's, if you went to, say, court, for example, like these are doing, it's whoever interprets a situation differently. Do you know what I mean? Not all minds think alike. I was saying that in not all like situations that you ask somebody, like, are they consensual? Like, Clay done it the other day out of being, like, friendly and nice, but it was clear that that was the road he was heading down. He didn't need to be asked there. For example, when it was Jessica and Justin in that situation when he was kissing and he was running upstairs to make out and obviously sleep with each other, they wouldn't have asked each other. Like, there's situations where you fall where you don't ask the questions, it's obvious. Where, like, here, you know, Bryce actually did rape her. You know, I'm not making no excuse. I'm not trying to find any other angle around it. It was clear and factually. But what I was saying about earlier on with the interview questions is the way somebody words it, yeah, and the way, like, you can manipulate the answer. You know, did you know she was being bullied? Well, no, I didn't know. Do you know now she was bullied? Yeah, I do know now. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, you can easily get around it. So, like, he's just said, did you tell him to stop? No. Okay. Did you tell him that you didn't want to? No. Okay. So, like, how does the guy know that, like, you wasn't up for it? Do you know what I'm saying? We seen it, so we know what it was. But what I'm saying is, as a person on the other side, if you was in court and they asked her that question, you know, did you sleep with Bryce? Yeah, we did. I didn't. He slept with me. But did you tell him that you didn't want to? No, I didn't. Did you tell him to stop sleeping with you? No. Do you know what I mean? So some people will be like, well, you know, what did he do wrong then? And other people will be like, yeah, he raped her. And like I said, man, it's down to wording and perceptions. You have to answer it clear and concise, like, because it's interesting. This is why I've always thought that this teacher knew more than he said, and he clearly knew that she was attacked, but because she never given a name, he's trying to give the excuse that he didn't go and actually try and seek further help for her. That's stupid, mate. His job sounds pointless.
Will you promise me that he'll go to jail and that I won't ever have to see his face again, that I won't have to face him?
I would do everything in my power to keep you safe. I can't do that unless I know everything that happened. If you can't give me a name, if you don't want to press charges against this boy, I'm not trying to be blunt here, Hannah, but you can move on.
Fucking out shit advice, that ain't it?
I have his confession. I took Hannah at her word, which is what you should have done.
It happened, Hannah, and I believe you. If you won't confront him, then the only other choice is to move on. Hey, Hannah, you can sit down. You don't need to be in a hurry.
I need to get on with things, Mr. Porter. If things aren't going to change, then I just better get on with it.
And she hoped you would come after her, but you didn't.
Again, do you know what, right? I just said he give a shit advice, and I actually think that he did give a shit advice. But again, like, what other advice can he actually give her? Like, are you going to tell me his name? No. You know, are you gonna like confront him? No. Are you gonna try and press charges? Well, no. Well, what can we do then? Do you know what I mean? Like, let's just simplify it. Take everybody's names out of the situation. Take the people out. Are you gonna tell me who it is? No. Are you gonna release his name? No. Are you gonna press charges? No. Are you gonna tell the police? No. Okay. What do we do then? Literally, what do we do? Like, are you? And that's literally that's kind of what he said, but like I say, he's a professional. I'm not. I'm a guy who's just literally watching this and just listen to like a 30-second clip. He should know how to handle it a bit better. But you know, that is, you know, if she's not willing to go forward, proceed, and tell his name and expose him and let everybody know what's happened, then what other thing can you do apart from move on?
I think I've made myself very clear, but no one's coming forward to stop me. None of you cared enough.
That Mike was ruffling around in that bag all day. Got nothing out of it, trust.
She walked out of school, went home, and put some things in order. Put on some old clothes. She went into the bathroom.
Did she slit her wrist all, didn't she? Yeah. Imagine being the mum. Here.
Oh, no. Come on, honey. It's okay. Come on, baby. Just call 911. Call 911. Tell them to hurry.
Painful to imagine what Hannah's last days were. We don't know what was in her mind or in her heart. There's no way to know why she did what she did.
Before she died, Hannah recorded 13 reasons why she killed herself. And everyone who comes before you on these tapes knows what you did and didn't do, so you get to decide. And I added tape number 14, which I hope will help you make that decision.
I don't know, like, a couple of them tapes, yeah, like I've been saying consistently, some people could actually go down, maybe, potentially, for something. This guy could possibly lose his job for being poor. In that scenario, he's really poor. Do you know what I mean? But like I say, it depends on the panel that you get, the jury, the perception of somebody hearing the tape and the outcome of what they expected. But it's interesting because, did he say something like, you can't change somebody's idea? That's what he just said. Something like, if Hannah was going to kill herself, she was always going to kill herself. That was kind of what he was insinuating, and you can't change it. And then, and that's like people say, the saying is, you know, you can't chase a lost cause. Pretty much, as in, like, if it's done, if someone said it's done, then it's going to happen. Regardless of how much effort you put in, regardless of how much Clay tries to prevent it, they're still going to do it anyway. But then, if you're always taking that approach, then nobody's worth saving then. Nobody who comes forward who's suffering is worth giving time to. Do you know what I mean? Because they're already in that situation. They've already made their minds up. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I get where he's coming from, but, like, it's totally wrong. His concept is his job should be the people who are feeling like there's nothing left and there's no way out. He provides that option. He provides that shoulder. He provides the ability to make them obviously feel better and see different things and progression in life. And that the only way is up, mate. You know, you can be at the bottom. There's nowhere to go. Do you know what I mean? The only worse place that Hannah could have gone was died. And that shouldn't have been the option. It should have been, what's the next step to make you feel a bit better? What's the next one? Slow and steady wins the race, mate. You don't have to fire to the finish line. You have to do slow progression. So it's interesting. But again, in certain situations like me, for myself as a person, if I make my mind up then I'm going to do something, then more or less what anybody comes in and offers, it'll just be talk because I've decided I'm going to buy this. Oh, buy this one instead, buy this one. No, I've made my mind up, you know. That's not the same as killing myself, but what I'm saying is it is hard for, say, someone to deter me from a decision that I've already made. I'm going to do this, I'm going to go for it, I've made that decision. And for someone to try and give me advice to deter off it is hard. So, like, trying to get to Hannah, who's already made that choice, would be really hard. She went into that room expecting him to give way better advice, and because he didn't give it, her mind was sealed. Do you know what I mean? She was hoping for so much more.
Sky, I was wondering if you wanted to, like, hang out sometime.
When?
How about now?
I actually think she's pretty cute, this guy.
Hang out for a while.
Whoa, guys got pure guns.
Calling for you. We're gonna be late.
Sorry, I was just grabbing a sweater.
Reckon it was him that shot Bryce? Actually, I don't even know if it's Bryce.
I have to apologize for not telling you everything. They asked me to keep secrets for her, but I've come to believe that I need to share something with you. There are 14 audio files on there.
Oh, he's done it all.
You should listen to them in order. I have the original tapes, and for reasons you'll come to understand, I have them hidden somewhere very safe. I thought I was doing the right thing.
They've instantly won this case now.
I get shit every day. People trip me and slam me into walls, lock me in the bathroom stalls, and pull my pants down.
Did you ever hear anyone at Liberty speak unkindly to Hannah?
Yes, it happened all the time. I saw how guys treated her. I have pictures of it.
Okay, let's
Pictures still would be quite evidential. Oh, he's dropped it.
Recorded tapes. She talked about what happened to her.
And where are these tapes now?
Clay has them.
Last I heard, Clay Jensen had them.
And I've got them here, baby. Fucking stand up, mate. You're gonna win. Oh, look at that. Right, why would you stay silent? Honestly, just listen to the conversation. Tony said, look, mate, I'll give you these, and if you need the physical copies, I've got them as well. I would literally be stood up and be like, got them here. Literally acquired them this morning. I've not heard of them. Stick them in there. We can all listen. Actually, I wouldn't want to listen to them together, to be honest. I'd be crying my eyes out if I was a parent. I'd have to do it on my own. In my own, I'd be way longer than Clay done. Do you know what I mean? Like, Clay took absolutely ages, mate. And that was just him loving Hannah from, like, a boyfriend perspective, so to speak. As a parent, it's going to be virtually impossible to listen to that. It'd break you. But you got to. You know, I would go through all of that pain to prove that my daughter, yeah, is not the person that everybody thinks she is. And I would happily go all that way and suffer myself to prove her innocence. So it's going to be interesting. But he's jumped out, mate. Literally, straight away, boom, these tapes. I wonder how many people down the line in the interviews it took for somebody to acknowledge it like this. And also, I keep going on about Bryce being shot, but I actually physically don't know it's Bryce. I'm assuming it is. And it's not even been acknowledged once, even though we have seen a gun kind of this episode here. So then again, that's what triggered my mind. Well, look how he's just called him. Madway.
And why did you slap her?
Because I thought she was fooling around with my boyfriend. Because guys talk at her school, they do things to girls that no one ever talks about and no one ever does anything about.
It's important that you tell us.
Argumentative.
It's hardly argumentative. Do you know anything about tapes that Hannah recorded about what happened to her?
She has to say yeah now.
No.
How did Jensen know me and Hannah Baker? Hannah Baker made these tapes before she died.
Can't believe he doesn't know about these
Same what
tapes.
y'all did to her. And who has them now? At this point, I don't know. But who's gonna believe a dead girl, right? So I'll see you around? No, I don't think you will.
Respect Justin. I actually like Justin, to be honest.
Daddy, I need to tell you. Something happened.
Fucking got the courage. Hard, mate. It's hard.
I'm giving life one last try.
Evan. Alex Standall, self in the head last night.
What the fuck? Alex? Alex shot him. Nah, I'm not having he shot himself. Like, why would he shoot himself?
It's me, live and in stereo.
So what happens next?
I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Why is Clay not in the back with Sky and that guy's in the front with him? See, right, you know, I don't know, man, like, this was a good episode. Like I said, the last, 5 have been good, but, like, I just don't like the way it ended, to be fair. Like, I can jump into season 2 now, right? So, like, I'm chilling, you know, like, by going into it. But, like, did the Bakers win? Did anybody get punished? What's happened to Bryce? Why is he shot? Or did he shoot himself? Or has somebody shot him? You know, like, there's so many questions open-ended, you know, like Jessica's just told her dad that, like, imagine this season didn't get renewed for a second. Just imagine. So, like, because you don't make a season 1 knowing you're having a season 2. You make a season 1 and then it gets popular and then you're like, yes, we'll extend it. If this never got, like, extended into season 2, then yeah, like, you know, what happened with the Bakers? Did they win? What's Clay's mum? Like, Clay's mum, soon, yeah, you'll find out soon. Well, you didn't tell her. She found out about the tapes during the case. You know, like, that's a hole in itself. Jessica, You know, she just told, well, I'm assuming that she's told her dad that she's been raped. And it's going to be interesting. This storyline, is he what are going to be pursuing it next season? Where's Justin gone? Do you know what I mean? I'll see you around. No, you won't, Bryce. You won't. He's got some alcohol. He's still got a gun on him. He's gone somewhere. What's happened to Alex? You know, apparently he shot himself in the head. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. Like, why would Alex shoot himself in the head? Like, it's totally, like, left field, that. Like, there's been no build up to it. I've not seen any kind of reason for him to be wanting to take his own life, so to speak. But again, maybe season 2 is Alex tapes. Do you know what I mean? I actually don't know. I just think it's interesting that there's like a couple of things that have like just happened. I'm just like, whoa, like the teacher. Do you know what I mean? Like, is he gonna get done? What's happened to him? Sherry, after confessing, has she been arrested? You know, are the police happy? Like, it accepted what she said. Do you know what I mean? There's so many different things that you could discuss and be like, why is all of this open-ended? Like Sky, for example, is she going out with Clay or not? I don't know. He's obviously asked, like, did he want to hang out? Is she going to be like one of the characters? She's going to kind of like replace Hannah next season. But I'm going to be well disappointed, mate, if we start season 2 and we don't continue on with this Hannah story and like kind of conclude it well, because I don't think it's been concluded. I actually don't think it's been concluded at all. Like, there's so many things that still need to be answered that we have to go into season 2 about Hannah. Like, the main one is what the fuck's happening with Bryce. Like, and how did he not know that the tapes was a thing? So you're telling me that, only, like, I don't know. Like, I'm actually shocked that he didn't know the tapes were a thing. I thought that it was like common knowledge between like the group thing, because even he referenced it a few times. Maybe when he was in, you know, when Justin was staying in his pool house or whatever, and he said, at least let's make sure that nothing comes back to Bryce. He was talking in relation to what happened at the party that only them two knew. Do you know what I mean? But it was interesting. I thought it was a good season. I thought the back end of it was really good compared to the front end. I just think because everything started being exposed and people's emotions started going all over the place. Do you know what I mean? I felt like the first kind of half was kind of like, it's all Clay's fault. Let's get rid of Clay. You know, Clay this, Clay that, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, at the back end, it was actually people panicking. What's happening? You know, are we going to get done? Should we throw someone under the bus? Seeing all this craziness that's happening there. And we're then getting our information in and be like, whoa, that's deep, mate. Can't believe that's just happened. Oh, Clay's story actually isn't that bad. You know, we're trying to root for the Bakers. So, I don't know. I thought it was really good, but I still think season 2 has to be about Hannah. Otherwise, to me, it wouldn't make any sense. Okay, so that is going to wrap up the finale of season 1 of 13 Reasons Why. Hopefully, you guys did enjoy it. And thanks for sticking around for this craziness of the story, like we said, on the back end of the season. Now, all this time, I was thinking, Bryce has been shot. Bryce has been shot. Just because of, obviously, the encounter, obviously, with Clay at his house, and then obviously we had kind of 2 gun references in that episode, and we also had, I don't know, like everybody sat around the table saying maybe we should throw Bryce under the bus. But at the end of the episode, when someone's being transported away, I was thinking, mate, somebody's attacked Bryce and I don't think it's Clay. And now, obviously, we found out it's Alex, and it's like, what the hell? And like, why is Tyler in his room got a big, massive suitcase, stacks of guns? And isn't it crazy that people in school have the ability to get weapons like that? Like, in my country, you can't. You probably get some people somewhere, but like, it is pretty much solid to try and acquire a weapon. Like I've mentioned previously in other seasons, if you just have one bullet, one singular bullet like this big or whatever, and you was caught in possession, you would get some time. So like having actual big box of weapons like that, which could possibly be perceived as legally, maybe he's, you know, underage, but like as soon as he turns 18, that'll just be accepted. It's madness. And like, has he used it? Has he shot Alex? You know, did he actually take Alex's photo off the peg line at the end there? I'm just trying to actually think before it was said it was Alex. Like, he did have like pictures all racked up, didn't he, Tyler? And I'm sure he took one off. Now obviously he revealed that the tapes was in his interview. We also seen Clay obviously reveal the tapes to the counsellor, Mr. Porter, and said that he was part of the problem as well. Now, it's interesting because obviously, like, he can try and offer his advice to everybody, but he also, as well, like, from his point of view, he's probably like, I can't report everything that everybody says, otherwise it'd just be like an endless supply of like therapists and like police being involved and stuff like that. But like, you got to narrow it down, ain't you, to like some sort of obvious ones that somebody suffered a serious like crime or allegation. Like she said there, you know, she said that she's not doing well. Like, let's like rub off all the conversation and like pick out key words. You know what I mean? Like if you was a counsellor and you're having a conversation with somebody, and like they said that they're not feeling great, they've got no friends, it'd be better off if their life was ended. They've been assaulted at a party. She pretty much, she didn't say the exact word, I don't know what she said, but she pretty much said she was raped as well. That's like 5 key massive things that like is throwing red flags all over the place. Now, whether all this little things that she's mumbling about in between here and there doesn't make any sense, maybe you think that it doesn't make any sense because she's so concerned and her head's fucked about all this other stuff that's happened, that she's, you know, she's can't focus properly, she can't think properly. And like, he's just like, oh, well, his pretty much summary was, well, if you can't give me a name and you don't want to go to the police, you don't want to expose them, and you don't want me to, you know, like press charges against them, then what can I do? That was like his summary. Like, what can I do? If you're not going to give me anything to go and run with, then the only thing that you can do is move on if you're not going to pursue it. Now, what I'm saying is, I get what he's saying, but what I'm also saying is, that is terrible advice for somebody who should be a professional in that position. That would be something that someone like me would say, who has no experience and no idea how to deal with any of those situations. If she was telling that to me, I'd be like, well, what do you want me to do? Do you know what I mean? All I could do is like listen and be like a shoulder for you. But like, if we don't want to attack them, like go after them, expose them, get them done, do you know what I mean? Like, I can't help you. That's what someone like me should be saying. Not somebody who's in a position who can actually seek help. He's got all this guidance. It's his sole purpose to make somebody try and feel better. And like, he is a problem as well. Like, I like the word the problem actually, because I don't think he's the reason she died. I actually think that Bryce is the reason that she died, to be fair. And like, I think that all the other little things were problems. It was just little things that was ticking the timer over until we got to the problem. And like, it's interesting, like we say, Justin, he was a problem at the party, and so was Hannah as well, mate. When Jessica was getting assaulted, they could have stepped in, they could have done something, and both of them were silent. So you can't hate Justin and not hate Hannah in that situation, yeah. And both of them played pretty much the exact same factor in that situation with the Jessica and Bryce. Both of them, Hannah and Justin, had the exact same, you know, like chance to stop it. Both of them knew this information. Nobody stepped up, nobody exposed it, nobody helped her. So you can't blame one and not the other. So it's interesting. And like I said, I like how Clay didn't use his kind of like love for Hannah to miss that, and he actually said she was a problem as well. And do you know what? Big up Jessica. She's been up and down this season, drinking. She's tried to get on, like, ever since she's found out what's said that she was raped, she's kind of gotten a straight and narrow. She stopped drinking. She's you know, she's what, like, spoken up. She said it to her dad. That is something that Hannah couldn't do, and it's hard as well. Do you know what I mean? Getting that courage to actually express what you're feeling and the position that you found yourself in, vulnerable, absolutely vulnerable. But I'm excited, obviously, to see what happens with these. Like I said, I don't know whose story we're going into next season. I thought that Bryce might have died, and it might have been like, who killed Bryce? But no, it's Alex that's been shot. And does he die or does he not? You know what I mean? Maybe we have an Alex story or a Jessica story, but I still think that we have to continue on with the Hannah one, which is crazy because I actually don't like going into second season. I don't like when storylines progress more than one season. I like them to be concluded and then you move on and it's not too dragged along. Like, and the fact is, I've named it so many, you know, we don't know what's happened to the Bakers, what's happened to Bryce with the Hannah thing. You know, we don't know if, we don't know who's shot Alex, to be honest. Like, we don't know that. But I just think this season with the Hannah storyline and just the way it's gotten with so many open-ended stories that they have to be concluded in the next season, we can't actually just go, woof, cut it there, start a new one. Do you know what I mean? So hopefully that does get wrapped up in next season, and then obviously we can find out what's happened to Alex, if it was somebody attacking him, and like why's Tyler got all these guns. So I can't wait for it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please smash the like, really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.